Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rob's Ramblings here on the Bucks and Six channel. And today I am adjacent to the brown table of sports card collecting. As you can see, I've done a little switch up on today's episode. We're going to do things a little bit differently. Obviously, the first thing you'll notice, I've turned the camera around. So I'm going to be facing the camera today, and I'm going to be showing some things that are out of the norm for my channel. So far, I've basically shown just cards that I've collected. Today, I'm going to show anything but cards. I've found in my basement a tub full of stuff that I had totally forgotten about since for many years. And since I found this tub, I started digging in it and I found a bunch of things that I thought would be cool to show on the channel. And because I found those items, I thought that would be a great catalyst for me to show some of the other things that I have lurking around my card collection and my sports memorabilia collection. So I'm going to show a whole bunch of different things. Most of it doesn't have much value monetarily, but it's all cool things to me that I think are pretty neat to hold on to. So I don't really have a plan and order of to show these things, but I will start with the stuff I found in the tub. The first item I'm going to show here, this is from 1982. This is a Milwaukee Brewers kind of a drawing. I don't even know. It's sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon, but it was the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers Portrait album. And if you open it up, they have these drawings of every player on the Milwaukee Brewers from 1982. And if you've watched my channel, you know that the 1982 Brewers have a special place in my heart. That is my team. The Brewers are the team I cheer for, and the 1982 Brewers were the only team that ever made it to the World Series. So as a kid, I was only 10 years old, actually only 9 years old when the World Series was happening. It's my only memory of my team ever playing in the World Series. So this 82 team definitely holds a special place for me. And I found this in that tub. It's just a real cool kind of piece of history from the Brewers. And then also on the back, I didn't show too much, but there's also a drawing of one of my all-time favorite sports figures is Bob Uecker, along with his radio partner Dwayne Mosley at the time. So this is a pretty cool item. It's a little bit wrinkled, and I definitely want to kind of spruce it up. Maybe find a frame for that and put it somewhere where I can see it more easily. So that's the first item. Another item that I found in that tub was a piece of memorabilia from 10 years later, and this is not really a true piece of memorabilia. This is something that I created in 1992. The Brewers finally had a decent team. They had been kind of struggling for a while, and in 1992 they got late into the season and they were still in contention for a playoff spot, and to the point where the team was actually starting to sell playoff tickets. So there was some sort of a lottery system, and we put in for playoff tickets, and we won. We got it. We got our playoff tickets, and so you can see these aren't the actual tickets, but these are representations. I made a color photocopy of these tickets, and these were going to be games. These were going to be from the 1992 American League Championship Series, games 1 and 2, and then 6 and 7. We got the whole lot. And then if they had made it to the World Series, I was going to have tickets for 3 games. The middle 3 games would have been games 3, 4, and 5. And since we won the lottery and we got the tickets, they sent them to us. But in order to get our refund, to get our money back, we had to send the tickets back in. So obviously the Brewers never made the playoffs that year. So we had to send in the tickets to get our refund. But before we sent the tickets back in, I made a photo color copy of those tickets. And that's what I've kept all these years. Now it's kind of got some wrinkles and some bends in it, but they're not the real tickets anyways. So at any rate, I found this in the tub. And so I grabbed that out, and I might find a way to display that along with some other of my other nuggets. Another thing, going back in time here, I found 3 placemats of all things. One of them was from Burger King, or not Burger King. This is Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut put out a placemat, and I believe this is from 1982, but I'm not sure. It could have been from 81. And this is a bunch of brewers from the era. There's Larry Heisel and Jim Gantner and Sixto Lascano, Ray Fosse, Bob McClure, Bill Travers. The thing that makes me wonder if this was not from 1982 is because the absence of players like Cecil Cooper and Robin Yount and Paul Molitor. This might have been from a little bit earlier, before those guys had become superstars. But this was a pretty cool item. This was put out by Pizza Hut, and so I grabbed that. It's a little bit wrinkled, but it's still, I think, worthy of holding on to. Then I had 2 more placemats. These definitely were from 1982. The first one I'll show is each placemat. This is from McDonald's. And so McDonald's put out placemats, and each placemat had 2 players depicted on it. And so this one is 2 Hall of Famers. This is Ted Simmons and Don Sutton. And it even says right in the center, this is the American League champions, 1982. So this was post-season. Obviously, we didn't know that they were going to win the American League championship until after the season, but this was probably done in the following spring or maybe even during the winter. McDonald's probably released these, took advantage of the popularity of the team at the time. And then the other one that I found from 1982 with 2 players, this is Ben Oglivie and Charlie Moore. So this is the placemat for them, and so looks pretty cool. And you can see they put the stats down in the corner for each player, and the iconic ball and glove logo in the center. I think these really look pretty cool. Now, I have no idea if they have any value. I doubt that they have much value at all. But to me, as a Brewer fan, this is kind of a rare piece of the Brewers' history that I definitely want to hold on to. I'm going to do something with these since they're a little bit wrinkled. I'm going to see if I can flatten them out and maybe find a way to display them in my room here. So those are a couple of other items that I found in the tub. Now, the last thing that I want to show that I found in that tub, this really has no value to anybody other than myself and maybe my brother, but I found in that tub, this is a scorecard from a game that we went to. And I mentioned this game on my channel maybe a month ago, maybe even more than that. I was doing a VR for Brent Richards, and he wanted to give our favorite hobby moment. And one of my things that I talked about in that VR was a game that my family went to where Jim Gantner had hit a home run. Now, the backstory to this is Jim Gantner went several years without hitting a home run, and we had made a pact that if Jim Gantner ever hit a home run, we would stop what we were doing and we would jump in the lake and swim out to the raft. So we did that, and so that Gantner home runs kind of became legendary in my family because of that. Well, a year after that event, we went to a game where Jim Gantner hit a game-winning walk-off home run in the 13th inning off of Jeff Reardon. And my brother, my whole family was at the game, but my brother kept score. Every game they hand out these little scorecards, and you can see in that 13th inning, there's Jim Gantner had been a pinch hitter, and he hit a walk-off home run in the 13th inning. So this piece of Brewer history is definitely going to be kept for posterity. I'm going to find a frame for this, and I'm going to put it up somewhere. Maybe I'll even ask Al. Al, you'll have to let me know if you want it. This is actually rightfully yours. You're the one that kept score of the game. But if you don't want it, I'm happy to put it up somewhere in my room here. So, but that was a gold piece that I found in that tub. So wanted to share that with all of you. Now, since I was showing some of these other oddball things, I decided I would grab a few other things that are not sports cards that I think are pretty cool to show. A couple of them I've already shown. I think I've already shown this on one episode early on in my channel's existence, but I know that many of you probably haven't seen that. But this is a belt buckle from 1982. Some of you maybe don't know this, but the man who designed this ball and glove logo was a guy by the name of Tom Mindell. And he was from my hometown. And one day when I was a kid, Tom Mindell held an event where he was signing and autographing different things. And these belt buckles were one of the things that were being sold at the event. And I don't know if it'll come across on camera, but in that there's an inscription. I don't know if it's showing up, but it says "To Rob" from Tom Mindell that he had scrawled in there with his little etcher. I don't know. Maybe that's the angle that's showing it the best, but at any rate, this belt buckle is definitely a little nugget from my childhood that I always will remember. I don't wear it as a belt buckle anymore. I kind of keep it on display, but that ball and glove logo from 1982 definitely is a piece of my childhood that I like to look back upon fondly. Now, another item that I've picked up along the way is this replica of the Brewers American League Championship rings. The Brewers did a giveaway a few years ago. I can see if I can get it to sparkle a little bit in the light, but they did a giveaway giving away these replica rings. And so I didn't go to the game, but one of my buddies did, and he snagged one of these for me and gave it to me. And so I definitely keep this on display in my card room. So that's a cool piece. Another thing, not a baseball card, but this goes right along with kind of my Jim Gantner collection. I do have a Jim Gantner autographed baseball. So this is a cool item that I like to keep. Nice. I've got several items that are autographed by Gantner. Gantner was my childhood hero. He's the one that I collected the most as a kid, even though he wasn't super power hitter or anything like that. He's kind of the guy. Now another one, here's another actual item that was autographed by Gantner, and I can see I've got the certificate of authenticity on the back. But this is something I think I showed once on the channel before. Let's see if I can get the whole thing. But this is an autographed picture of Jim Gantner and Charlie Moore basically laying on top of each other at home plate. This is Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. I want to say this was the 7th inning. The Brewers were down by 1, and Cecil Cooper got the most famous hit in Brewers history. Got a base hit to score these two guys, and that will put the Brewers up by 1. We were down by 1, and then his hit put us up by 1. So it was a very significant moment in Brewers history because that was the game-winning RBI that sent us to our only World Series. And these two celebrating at home plate is a pretty iconic moment for all Brewer fans. And I remember it well, even though I was just a little kid. So thought I'd show that. That's a pretty cool item. Another item that I guess there are going to be some baseball cards. This next item is a plaque that I bought. And this plaque shows the 3 kind of core members of that Brewers team that stayed with the Brewers for the longest. Jim Gantner, Paul Molitor, and Robin Yount. And this plaque came with some very nondescript baseball cards. I want to say like junk wax era cards from the mid or late 80s. So I replaced those junk wax era cards with each of their rookie cards. So I'll see if I can get that without the glare, but I got the PSA graded Molitor rookie. I've got the SGC graded Robin Yount, and then I've got the Jim Gantner rookie. And over my shoulder, I don't know if you can see up there, I've got the Jim Gantner rookie card with my Jim Gantner autographed jersey. That rookie card of Gantner is also autographed. So at any rate, this is a cool item that I keep on display in my card room. And so now everything I've shown so far have been baseball. Brewers are my team, but I also cheer for the Canucks. And also, I do cheer for the Bucks. So I have a couple of items of each of those teams. So this, and my brother, I'm sure, is going to roll his eyes at this, but I've had this item for many years, since I was in high school, for sure. This is my Vancouver Canucks garbage can. So this garbage can has been with me through a lot of things, and I have no idea how this garbage can has survived. I wouldn't even show you the inside. The inside of this is pretty nasty, but it is still functioning, and I still use it every day. And there's just something about this Flying Skate Canucks logo that I've always loved. And so this garbage can, as long as I can keep it with me, I'm gonna try my best to keep this functioning. And so I had to show that piece of memorabilia. All right, so then I'm down to my last couple of items, and the last couple of items that I have are basketball items, and they're both from the Bucks championship a couple of years ago, or a few years ago now. The Bucks won their first championship in my lifetime, second overall. But I happened to come across this. This was actually courtesy of my Aunt Gail and Lori. Not sure which one of them. One of them found it and got it for me, but this is the actual Milwaukee Journal Sentinel front page from the day after the Bucks had won the championship. So I've got that framed. I think Gail and Lori framed that for me. So I got that on display in the house. And then another thing I picked up at this was a pickup that I bought at my very first card show when I re-entered the hobby. And I didn't buy a lot of cards. I was kind of overwhelmed by the card hobby. But one thing that I was drawn to was this. And this is just a canvas print of Giannis hoisting the Finals MVP trophy. And in the background, you can see there's Chris Middleton hoisting the MVP or the NBA championship trophy. So this picture definitely won my heart immediately at that time, and so I snagged that, and I have got this on display in the house as well, just kind of as a reminder that, hey, good things do happen once in a while in Wisconsin. In my whole life, I've only had 3 championships that I have been able to witness, 2 of them from the Packers and 1 from the Bucks, and 0 from the Canucks, 0 from the Brewers. So anytime a championship happens, it's pretty special around here. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a little bit different than my normal, but getting out of my comfort zone a little bit today. Oh, one other thing. I wanted to celebrate. I almost totally forgot. Earlier today, I happened to check the channel, and I noticed that I hit a milestone. Thanks to all of you viewers, I have hit 100 subscribers. Now, I know that's not a gigantic number, but heck, it's a way more than I thought I would. So 100 subscribers, pretty proud of that, pretty happy with that. So thanks to all of you. I appreciate all the support you've given me. This is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to what 2026 has to offer. So until next time, I'm signing off. Enjoy the hobby and stay true to yourself.